What made you cut off your toxic sibling? My parents groomed me and my older brother David from the second we were born, but not in the way you're thinking. You see, they programmed David to think he was an untouchable superhuman. Meanwhile, I was nothing but a future baby carrier. When I won a $50,000 academic scholarship at 16, my dad tore it up right in front of me. I can't believe you even considered telling me about this. You should be pregnant by now, he said, lifting his fist as if he was about to hit me. He managed to stop himself, but it was still enough for me to feel uneasy. And that same week, they bought David a $50,000 BMW for his birthday. Image matters for men, Dad explained. When I started crying, he lifted his hand to slap me again. This time, he didn't stop himself. Stop being selfish. Your brother has a future. But compared to my mom's disturbing tradition, none of this was even that bad. It all started the day I turned 8 years old. Instead of waking up to gifts or a hug, she handed me a pregnancy stimulation suit filled with sand. I was forced to spend the entire day wearing it while watching birthing videos. She'd add weight if I complained, saying real mothers don't whine. From there, I was forced to wear it every weekend. She even made me practice breastfeeding on dolls that cried if held wrong. While I spent every session plotting escape, she'd parade me around relatives who'd touch my fake belly and coo about my future babies. When I turned 14 and told her I wanted to be a doctor, not a mother, she made me wear the suit to school under my clothes as punishment. To remind you of your true purpose, she said. The janitor found me crying in the bathroom, trying to cut it off with scissors. He even offered to call CPS, but I declined, because I knew my mom would only punish me more. Plus, I was lucky, because my parents had been abusive for my entire childhood, which meant I'd been hiding money since I was 12, babysitting cash, secret acrylic business, tutoring, the works. So by the time I turned 18, I had just over $8,000 stacked up in a shoebox under my bed. When I told them I was leaving for college, my mom locked me in my room for 2 days to think about what family means. When the 48 hours passed, my dad was the one to unlock the door. If you walk out that door for college, you're not welcome back. I left with my shoebox and a trash bag filled with my belongings. Meanwhile, David became everything they had dreamed of. A senior partner at a prestigious law firm, engaged to a Latina beauty, golf buddies with senators. They had so much faith in him that they retired early just to bask in his glory. And as for me, well, I was erased from family photos like Stalin's enemies, but I'd gaff LOL. Because just last year, I was promoted to director of engineering. 6 figures, company equity, team of 20. I almost called them to share the news. Then I remembered they didn't have my number, and I never saw my parents again. Until 8 months later, that is. I was fast asleep at 2 a.m. when I heard my old phone ringing in the drawer. It was my mom. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. Sophia, we need your help. David, he's gone. What do you mean gone? He took everything. He was sick with stage 3 lymphoma. So we sold the house, cashed out retirement, everything for his treatment. But there was no cancer. He lied. I sat up in bed and stayed silent as she continued. Yesterday, the bank called. Our accounts are empty. The house is gone. The cancer center doesn't exist. He's been in Dubai for 6 months. Dad took the phone. We're in our car. We're 70 years old and sleeping in our car. The country club members want their donations back. They think we were in on it. Please, Sophia, you're all we have left. The next day, I met my parents at a Denny's. They looked like different people. Dad's golf tan faded to gray. Mom clutching a garbage bag of clothes. When I handed them my business card, director of engineering, Dad's hands shook. You made it, he whispered. Without us, despite us. I paid for a small apartment, 1-year lease. Set them up with part-time work through my network. Basic survival, nothing more. Mom cried when she signed the lease. We gave the wrong child everything. No, I said. You gave the right child nothing. And look what I built from it. When I got home the next day, there were 4 men in my living room. Turns out our parents' money wasn't enough for David, because he was in debt too. More specifically, $10,000 of debt that was 2 months overdue. It was made very clear that my options were my well-being, or handing over the money. So, under their supervision, I calmly took out $6,000 in cash and handed it over. I told them I could give them the rest tomorrow, but when they finally left, I felt a deep anger brewing in my stomach, because I spent my entire childhood wishing someone would beat David into shape, but I never knew that that someone was going to be me. Full story on channel, link below.